Beautiful morning to you, and of course, we're very glad to have you join us for the midweek edition of AM Sports, your morning tea coming to you on NT Sports 24. We're reaching you from the Moshood Abiola National Stadium here in Abuja, Bade Adeleye, and of course, it brings me much pleasure to welcome you. And of course, the African Games is going on in Ghana, and Team Nigeria were doing so well, and of course, the surge up the table continues, and of course the team Nigeria were second, and of course it's a strong second for now. And can we catch Egypt? That one it looks unassailable, but anything is possible. But we're celebrating second place at the moment, and of course we'll be talking football, and we still talk about that knockout victory about for Anthony Joshua against Ghana, because it's been generating loads of reactions and all that. We talk about many things. Remember, we saw the UEFA Champions League and many other things. So it's a total package for you today. All I'm going to tell you, is to stay with us to discuss all the things we've got on the show today. So it's really a loaded package, and of course we've got a special guest on the show today, and of course the man who has been to Ghana and is back. And of course he can tell you that there's something beautiful about his federation, because they landed Nigeria's first gold in Ghana. So these are many more on the show today. Let's go on this quick break. When we return, I'll be introducing you to my guest on the show today. And of course, if you're just joining us, you're in the right place. This is AM Sports, your morning tea coming to you on NT Sports 24. Now join me in welcoming my guest on the show today. And of course, this will be his first appearance on our new show, AM Sports. Join me in welcoming the president of the Badminton Federation of Nigeria, Francis Obi. Such a long time. Many thanks for joining us, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone.
As in, it's not always easy to have you, and of course we're glad to have you on the show. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, like I told you earlier, his federation landed Nigeria's first gold medal in Ghana, and of course, it came from that man, Anoluwapo Bayori, and of course, that man has been Africa's number one for a long time. He's been doing so well. We saw what they did for us, tried to qualify for, the Olympics in 2020. That was, decided in 2021. This man continues to, break the glass ceiling when it comes to the game of badminton. And of course in Ghana, I think his good luck has earned Nigeria 21 more medals, more gold medals in Ghana, because it paved the way, if I can put it that way. So before we talk to Anu, because we've got his interview, let me put it straight to the president. How was the feeling like when he finally landed? In fact, it was a clean sweep for Nigeria. The bronze, the silver, and gold went to Nigeria.
In fact, I can't describe how I felt. It was quite a very wonderful feeling. Like you said, it was the first gold medal for Nigeria at the games. Because in the past, I think table tennis normally
we have won it before that time.
Before badminton, and when it didn't work for table tennis, everybody was jittery. So it was for badminton to open the floodgate. And like you said, the moment we did, wrestling came in with 6, weightlifting followed, and right, left, and center, gold medals are pouring in. So for me, it was a good thing, and like you said, it was like a clean sweep in the men's singles. It was a very strong statement with regards to dominance. One country, Nigeria played against Nigeria in the finals, out of the 4 semi-finalists, Nigeria had 3. I mean, how else do you want to make a strong statement? So it just what it meant to us was that the future is still very bright for badminton in Nigeria. Anu does not lack successors. People are there waiting. In fact, they want to even push him out. Hey, guy, you've been here for too long. Go, let us take, our turn. And that's a very beautiful thing to have. So, for us as a federation, we are looking at how we can build that same momentum with the women's team. We don't want it to be with the men alone. And gradually, the women are picking up. And very soon, it will be a total thing, not just men alone. But on the men's side, everybody sees that Nigeria is there at the top, and for now, nobody can touch us.
All right, you mentioned one of the things, going well for the federation, but tell us more. What's the secret to the success?
Well, in anything in life, I believe not only in sports and not only in badminton, preparation is very key. If you fail to prepare, then you are preparing to fail. So we recognize that, and we appreciate that, the importance, which is why as a federation we always try to put in a lot of effort. It's not just going to attend an event. What do you do to prepare to attend that event so that the outcome will be very good? So early this year, immediately after the New Year celebration, by 7th of January, we had called all the players to camp.
Wow.
And we put them in camp for the All-African Seniors in Egypt. Because we knew All-African Seniors were going to come barely 1 month. The All-African Games will come barely 1 month after the All-African Seniors.
Yeah.
So preparing for All-African Seniors was like, at the same time, preparing for the All-African Games. So it was very important. And we did that, and it has paid off, because we went to Egypt, we did well. This becomes Anu's 6th African title. I mean, his dominance. I have not really gone to research and check the records. I don't know if any player in the past has dominated any event like that in Africa for such a long time.
I think consistency is very much key. Very soon we're going to take the interview of the young man, because he spoke to some of the journalists down there in Ghana. But before we talk to him, what do you think is going on well for him? Is it that this man, is it like, one of those people that they will tell you that they don't joke with their sports?
Well, I must say something. One, he's a very disciplined athlete. And for anything you do, discipline is the foundation. Once you have that foundation, it becomes easier to build on it. Very disciplined. He's a very passionate athlete. He's determined, level-headed. In all this success, when you see him, he's still calm. And some people, the thing will get into their heads. They begin to raise their shoulders and feel that they have arrived. As far as he's concerned, he has not even arrived anywhere. He's still striving to do better. So I think that humility has done a lot for him. Always that hunger to want to do more, push yourself a bit further, and that's what makes the difference between the champion and the other players. So for me, that's what is going for him. When you push him, he's ready to go. When it's time for him to make sacrifices, I know Anu has gone for tournaments that we barely were able to buy his ticket, pay for his accommodation and feeding. He will not go with anything. Nothing, no allowance. He will just go, and he goes for those tournaments. No coach to sit behind him. Wow. He's playing against foreign players who come with their coaches. Sometimes not only the coach, they might come with their physiotherapy. Yeah. They might come with their sports psychologists who are reading the games and telling them what to do. But he's there all alone. When he won in Uganda, he was all alone. When he won in South Africa, yes, a few other players went. Sometimes when a team goes even without a coach, the players
encouraging each other, they become coaches.
So most of the competitions that he has gone for in the past, he goes alone. So I think that has toughened him mentally, because you need to be mentally tough to face some of this. It wasn't easy. Even in the finals he played, it was Nigeria against Nigeria, but it wasn't easy. It was 2-1. Godwin Olofua pushed him to the limit. And people were wondering, but they are from the same country, and they were to play doubles finals.
Yeah.
So, and for us, I think that affected them in the doubles final, because they got themselves exhausted. Yeah. And by the time they went in for the doubles final, they couldn't leave. Before they could pick up, they did better in the second game. The first game, it was just there. So I think that's what has helped the young man. He's been very, 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 very consistent, very disciplined. If you see his workout routine, it's unbelievable. he works very hard. He doesn't joke with his training. So I think that's the secret.
That's quite beautiful, and of course, when you work so hard, we get to see the results. There's no shortcut to success. All right, let's quickly take a listen to this interview, of Anoluwapo Bayori, and of course, after that, we'll continue the discussion on Africa Games with special focus on badminton.
Men's badminton, singles, and then silver in the doubles. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So how do you feel about your performance here at the African Games?
I feel very much happy being the first person to pathway for the others. So I'm very, very excited, and this is my second winning the African Games. So I participated in 2019 for the first time. I won it, and also participated the second time, and it's like a streak, So I'm very, very happy, and I'm also happy that it's historical to move forward and to allow other people to get more good for Team Nigeria.
So if I'm not mistaken, this is like your 5th continental title along with the African Championships?
No, if you counted, it would be like 6th.
6th?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's massive. So can you talk us through your game yesterday? I know you've had to play a lot of games, a lot of matches in like 3 days or so. How did that tell on your body or even your performance?
Well, I'll say that I'm really blessed because I've been playing on very long games since last month. I won the championship in Egypt, and I played on to the finals, and I played the team event, then from the team event to individual. So I was already stressed. Then I went down to Uganda to play, and to be honest, I was thinking I was going to go out in the first round because I was already tired from the last championship. But fortunately for me, I got to the semi-final, and that is also my first semi-final in international challenge, by the way. Yeah. So and after 1 week rest, then we came back here. Not rest particularly because I was training and going up and down. So we came down here with the stress of they canceled the team event first. And I was really angry with that, but yeah, I let it go. I had enough time to recover, but I didn't have enough practice section. So the practice session and the practice all was not really good for me. So I kind of not have a good feeling in this tournament. So from the beginning, from last 16 to the final, it was really a stress game because even playing against Ghana, I was playing a tough match in the first game until the second game that I just get hold of my body. So from 16 quarter and everything, it was quite tricky, but I was very stressed, to be honest. I was very stressed because I also have to wake up 5:30 to go to the tournament venue. So it was really stressed, and I was playing in 2 events. So it was 4 matches a day. So, and they were really
interesting. The man could go on and on to talk about what he experienced. But what do you make of that?
Well, that's what champions are made of. Yes, like he said, he was stressed, but stress is part of the game.
Yeah.
He wasn't the only one. Every other player too was going through the same experience, and for him, like he said, from Egypt to Uganda back to Abuja, and Abuja to Ghana, just like that, a lot of activities preparing for this championship. So, but there's something that I also want to highlight here. Anu's gold medal means a whole lot more than being the first for Nigeria, and then him retaining the title he won in Morocco and being his 6th African championship. This gold medal cemented his qualification for the Olympics.
Beautiful.
and what is more, before we went for the All-African seniors in Egypt, I knew the gap between him and the next person, because there are 3 in contention in Africa, was up to 7,000 points.
Wow.
Yes. For this win alone, he got about 4,000.
Wow.
In Egypt, again, another 4,000.
Wow.
So, but those people who were competing with, they were all getting to semi-finals, getting to finals. So the gap was just closing. In Uganda, he got to semi-final, won a bronze medal, but his contenders were losing at the round of 16 and the quarterfinal. So that gave him a huge boost. Seriously, we were almost not very confident that he would qualify, because by the time we were going for these competitions, his other competitors for this slot had played about 16 qualifiers. Anu had played only 9 because we didn't have enough money for him to go for so many. But the good thing was that anytime he went to a competition where they were all competing, he would do better than them. So the points he would get, it will help him to close the gap. But in these 2, he just shot away. So he has qualified for the Olympics. And what does that mean? In the history of badminton in Nigeria, Anu is the first Nigerian who will be playing men's singles at the Olympics.
Wow.
That's never happened before.
The last time it was the team event.
No, it was doubles, men's doubles and women's singles.
Yeah.
Before that, it has been women's singles. Obi Sholaja and Grace Daniel. After that, Dorcas Adeshokon, then Anu Oluwapo and Godwin Olofo. We've never played men's singles.
Wow.
That's one. Then 2, in the history of badminton, the first time 1996, second time 2008, after that 2020. It has been a 12-year cycle for badminton to appear to play.
Well, now you're doing it like back to back.
It's the first time it has never happened.
This is huge.
Yeah, it is huge for us.
It should be put out
his
there.
Qualification meant so much to us. We've never done it. We've never been to the Olympics back to back. And Anu Oluwapo. So we are not only going back to back. If it was some other player who qualified, it would still be back to back. But Anu was at the last Olympics and is going for the second one.
Beautiful. We cannot wait to see that young man, in Paris. So beautiful, and of course it's worth, celebrating. Come on, we always want Nigeria to do things like these, and it's so beautiful to know that Anu Oluwapo is on his way to Paris. Congratulations, that's huge, And another man too that has always been there, you can also call him the partner of this man, is Godwin Olofo. And of course he got a silver medal for Nigeria in the men's singles at the African Games, and of course the men's doubles, because he was the partner to Anu in the final. So let's quickly listen to that man too, and get what he had to say.
At Rabat, I lost to Julian Paul. He's the African #1. So I lost to him at the quarterfinal, at the semi-finals. He was the one that defeated me to got a bronze medal in my singles. So now it's just like a payback, coming back to meet him in the quarterfinals. So I defeated him in quarterfinals. So going to the semi-finals, it was quite easy for me because I'm playing my fellow Nigerian. So getting to the finals, I'm playing my own fellow rivalry, which is Anu Oluwapo. So it was really a good match. So we didn't go my way.
Beating the top seed at this competition, how much did that boost your confidence ahead of the semis and the final?
It really boosted my confidence. Actually, I lost confidence before because due to my last poor performance in Egypt. So I came back, I was actually training and doing a lot of individual training to myself just to boost my confidence so that I can be able to perform perfectly well, better than Egypt. So I get into my first game, I was playing very well. That was not really strong, but it did actually prepare me very well so that I can be able to feel myself on the court, to know where I can be able to stand. But after playing my round of 16 against the Algerians, I got my confidence because I know I'm going to play Julian Paul. So I got that feeling, that inspiration, because I have played him before, I have beaten him before, despite the fact that we are good, also good rivalries too. So I got that confidence that I am meeting him and I believe in myself I'm going to do it. So that confidence was there. So after defeating him, so I got a lot of 100, my confidence level now increased from 80% to 100%. So while playing Victor, my fellow Nigerian player, that guy is also a very good player, which another player we have to look after too. So, but I got more experience more than him. So, and being on top of my game, so it really showed that yes, I am better.
And in the final, it was a very close game. You were leading, in the first set at some point. I'm sure after all that you had done in the quarterfinals and semis, you were confident that you could win the gold here.
Yes, I was very confident because I was following Bomba to Bomba, so I don't wanted to leave that game for him too. Even in the first games that I won, I was even leading 2016. He came back struggling and he got 2020, but still, I don't want to let go, and also I am very hungry for it too at the same time. So winning the first game, then coming back second game, it got to a point that they wanted to come back stronger in the second game, but it was leading 11-7 at the second game, but I had to come back stronger, boost my morale as well. That's why I see most of the game I was actually shouting to motivate myself as well. But I came back 11 all, then 12 all, then got into 17-17. The game I just I switched off. I just go off. So it didn't actually not go my way, but it was really a good.
You could have put that story any better, Mr. President.
Well, what happened in Ghana? Anu versus Godwin. Nigeria against SME. Against Nigeria in the finals of the men's singles to decide the ultimate best in the continent was a repeat of what happened 2019 in Port Harcourt.
Wow.
At the All African Seniors. Anu versus Godwin. So 5 years after, they repeated it. And for me, that's why when I looked at the semi-finalists, and then, of course, when they were going to play the finals, it's not the first time. They've played against themselves several times, even at the national level. Before Godwin left for Qatar, they've had a very healthy rivalry that have pushed both of them. So, but the funny thing is that they will meet themselves in singles and then they will pair themselves in doubles to play. And it was a good feeling. At the time we were in the finals, we were already sure of our gold medal. It was just a matter of who was going to nick it, whether it was going to be Anu or it was going to be Godwin. But the fact that 5 years after Port Harcourt, they could repeat that feat. Like he said, when he came to Egypt, he didn't do too well. But by the time we left Egypt, he went to Uganda, played, and came back to Abuja for less than 2 weeks camp. Because the camp was already ongoing. Yeah. Before we went to Ghana, I will tell you, the way I saw him push himself, I was getting worried. I called the coaches. Are you sure he's not going to overload himself? And at the end of the day, he won't perform. So, but luckily, we had Professor Ken Anugweje of the High Performance Center in Uniport, who is the head of the minister's performance team, who was monitoring him with the athletics coach, Coach Okon. They gave him some programs, and the prof told me, said, President, don't worry. With Godwin, we are going to be scientific. We won't overload him, but we will make sure that he's able to. And it showed. So I will tell you that Godwin's performance in Ghana, Professor Ken and Coach Okon played a major role, because from what he did in Egypt, he took it to another level. Within a very short time, it was amazing.
All right, quite beautiful. Before we just, before we let you go on the show, you can't come. I won't ask you about the preparations for the Olympics. But before that, the All Africa Seniors, just give us one or two take-homes from that. How was the experience?
Well, it was good. For us, it was a good preparation for the All African Games. Okay. In Morocco, we topped the medals table in badminton with 2 gold medals, and they were from men's singles and the team event. So this time we really, especially when we lost one of the team events in Egypt in the finals to Algeria, it was very painful. So we really wanted to go for it again and at least come back with 2 gold medals, at least. But unfortunately, like Anu mentioned in his interview, the team event was cancelled. So that was out of the way. So for us, Egypt was a good preparation. It gave us an idea of what our team could do. And then the coaches came back home, did a few things here and there to see her, and it showed. We did better. Even in the women's singles, Dorcas, who was just coming back, she won a bronze medal, and it was as a result of the work that was done. So basically, I will tell you that the experience in Egypt was good. Victor Ikechukwu, who Godwin talked about, who won the bronze medal, he also won a bronze medal in Egypt. Unfortunately for him, in all his semi-finals, he played against Nigeria. In Egypt, he met Anu in semi-finals, he lost. In Ghana, he played against Godwin in semi-finals, he lost. He's upcoming, but I can tell you that's the guy to look out for. Then we have another player, Emmanuel Joseph. Wow. I'm telling you, that guy...
As they were loaded when it comes to badminton.
So, the good thing about Egypt was that Emmanuel and Victor, that was their first outing. That was their first outing in the national team. and they made a very good impression. I'm very happy. So they came to Ghana, they did well again. But I can tell you that's the future of the game for us. After Anu and Godwin, we have two solid players who are coming in very strong.
That's quite beautiful. I love that, I love that arrangement when it comes to the Badminton Federation of Nigeria. You guys are doing so well. Just before you go, do we still have, is there any chance of more Nigerians qualifying for, the Olympics, or it's just only Anu? And what are the plans for, the preparations?
No. There's no need to beat around the bush. Anu is the only one who is on the verge of qualification, because qualifying, that's the mistake a lot of times we make. And it's with other sports. As we are speaking right now, even before this current Olympics, most countries, especially the advanced countries, the developed countries, the people that are going to play the Olympics for them 2028, they are already preparing.
Wow.
Preparation has started. You don't wait till when it's a year or how many months. No. So even for Anu, the advantage was that he already had a good world ranking. So what we did was we just tried to keep him there, and then when the time came, we just gave him a little push more. We could have done far better than we did for his preparation. So Anu is the only one. But what I can tell you, I talked about Victor and Emmanuel Joseph. There are people we are looking at for the next Olympics 2028, and we are going to start now. We're not going to wait, because I'm not sure, I don't know if Anu is ready to play till 2028, to play the next Olympics. There have been a good shot at the record to attend 3 Olympics
back to back. Let's wait and see.
Sure.
It might still be, just 4 years from now, it might still be available. If Aruna Quadri can still be playing, tennis. So let's see what's up. So quite beautiful, Mr. President. Nice to have you on the show, and I must commend you for what the Federation is doing. Nigerians are really proud of you, and of course, thank you for paving the way for more good medals for Nigeria at the African
So
Games.
Nigeria, they need to pay us for what we did. But if we didn't open that door, table tennis, the door was difficult for them to open.
Yeah.
So when it got to our turn,
You opened it so wide.
We told Anu, go break that door, because if it didn't get broken, then Nigeria didn't stand a chance of pouring the gold medal.
Yeah.
And the moment he did it at about 2:30. No, he did it about 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
By 5 o'clock, wrestling was just, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that was it. So it was
Quite beautiful. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you
coming
for
on the
having
show.
me. I'm very happy to be here.
All right, we've been talking the African Games, and of course, special focus on badminton. You're still watching your morning tea, the AM Sports. Let's go on this quick break. When we return, we'll be taking more interviews, and of course, we'll be looking at the newspapers. Thank you for joining us. The morning show here, that's AM Sports, your morning tea, and of course it's time for us to take a look at the papers. I've got 2 dailies with me today. I've got the Punch Sports Extra and the Sporting Life. Obviously we're going to start with the Sporting Sun, I beg your pardon, and of course the Sporting Sun has loads of interesting stories there. by the masthead, which is you're going to see it on your screen right away. De Bruyne attempted to accept mammoth 120 million euro offer. Do not worry, it's going to come on your screen. But that I wouldn't know where that is coming from, but that's an offer for him. After AJ defeat, Ngannou quits. Is that possible? We'll find out. And of course, Manchester United's wage bill soars again to £479 million, but still owes more than £750 million. Salah Alexander-Arnold set for Liverpool return. NFF settles for Amunike to coach Super Eagles. Salisu Yusuf and Mokachi set to battle him. Mbappe to wear number 9 shirt at Real Madrid next season. Barca keen to splash €140 million on Luis Diaz. And of course, Manchester City considers Guimaraes' $100 million release clause. Injured Griezmann returns for Inter clash. That's in the UEFA Champions League. Osimhen wants £250,000 a week to quit Napoli. Chukwueze's market value drops. Nwabali, Okoye's stock rise. WBC clears winner of Fury Usyk to face Anthony Joshua. Wow. Quite interesting. We're done with the Sporting Sun. Lots of interesting things going on there. NFF settling for Amunike, and of course Osimhen, wanting £250,000 a week to quit Napoli. That'll be interesting. Right. Let's take a look at the Punch Sports Extra. We'll take a look at the upper part of the newspaper where we've got interesting things there. And of course, by the left side, we've got the story coming from Victor Boniface. And of course, Boniface set to return in April. You're going to see the newspaper. And of course, Victor Boniface set to return in April. And of course, following that is ITTF rankings. Aruna retains number 1 spot. Nigerian lifter snatch 15 gold. That's massive. Clinical Catalans punish visitors. And of course, new female yellow greens Super Bowler. You're supposed to meet that one. Celta Vigo sack Benitez. That's there. And of course, Roger Blancos face tough Italian test. That's talking about Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid. What a cracker. And of course, that's quite beautiful. We're going to take a look at the lower part of the newspaper next. And of course, it's been interesting to see all the things in the upper part of the newspaper, talking about Boniface, ITTF rankings, Nigerian lifters getting 15 gold and all that. So let's go to the other side. All right, you have it there. The wanted one, Amunike is fans' favorites for Eagles coaching job. And of course, you can see the graph there, the chart. And of course, by the pie chart, we can see that Amunike, we call him Amunike, he's got 53% of the votes. And of course, Celta Vigo, they've sacked Rafael Benitez. That's the former coach of Liverpool and Everton, Newcastle. And of course, you can put Chelsea there. Liverpool slap €145 million euro price tag on Diaz. Arsenal not selling Zinchenko. Djokovic knocked out at Indian Wells. And of course, Olympic qualifiers. 68 African boxers crash out in Italy. Wow. That's tough. All right, we're done with the newspapers, and of course, one steady news item there was that most people, and of course, they are rooting for Emmanuel Amunike to become the new coach of Nigeria's and Super Eagles. Many people are looking forward to that, and we cannot wait to see what happens with that. So quite beautiful when it comes to that. Let's quickly go on this break, and of course when we return, we'll be talking more on the show. Do not forget that we've got to talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League, and of course we're going to take a look at all the tables in different leagues across Europe, and of course we'll talk about the UEFA Champions League, and also the latest coming from the stable of Anthony Joshua. You're still watching AM Sports, your money. Do stay with us. Still watching your morning tea. That's AM Sports coming to you on NT Sports 24. Let's now talk about Rivers United, who are campaigning in the CAF Confederation Cup. And of course, on Tuesday they were drawn against defending champions of the CAF Confederation Cup. That was a huge one, and of course many will call it unfavorable. And of course that's the draw you've gotten there. Rivers United against USM OGS. That would be a real cracker, and you've got other quarterfinal pairings when it comes to the CAF Confederation Cup. Many people, well, I would say when it comes to this level of competition, nobody is a minor. There are no minors again when it comes to the competition. So loads of teams there fighting for themselves, fighting for their lives and all that. So we're wishing Rivers United, and of course after this you can see their pathway. The next, if you're going to see the next slide that will be coming on the screen, you're going to see the pathway for them to go to to the next round of the CAF Confederation Cup. And of course we're going to see the pathway when it comes to the CAF Confederation Cup. It's going to come on your screen now. We are going to see the pathway being left for the CAF Confederation Cup. All right, it's like my director has chosen not to give us the pathway of Rivers United to the final of the CAF Confederation Cup. I wouldn't know why. Of course it's not this, it's the next one. So if we're not going to see the pathway, there you have it. So that's how they can qualify for the final of the CAF Confederation Cup. And of course, we're wishing Rivers United all the best. You do see them there. It's not the best of draws for them, but they say if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. So Rivers United, all the best of them in the CAF Confederation Cup. Let's come back home now and now move away from the African continent and straight to Europe, and this time around we'll be talking about the UEFA Champions League. As we saw loads of interesting matches, especially on Tuesday night, and we have the 6 qualified teams. When it comes to the next round of the UEFA Champions League, we have 6 teams already who have qualified for the quarterfinals. Interesting ones. We do know that Manchester City are through, Real Madrid are through, and of course Arsenal, the Gunners, they are through. we have a list of qualified teams, and of course we do hope that the director will be, nice enough to show that. And of course, Arsenal there, you've got Barcelona there, you've got Bayern Munich there, you've got Manchester City. I know all the teams will be on your screen, and of course, not quite an easy one, and all that. So, and of course, we saw two interesting matches. Arsenal were able to overcome FC Porto via penalties because the match ended 1-0 at the Emirates. Not quite, an easy game for them on Tuesday night, but at the end of the day, they were able to get, the required victory, although it did come in the via shootouts. And of course, you have it there. It was Trossard who got them that single goal that got them into extra time. And at the end of extra time, they couldn't get the goal. They had to settle for penalties. And Raya, their goalkeeper, was the hero for that particular encounter, getting, them a 4-2 victory in the shootout. Congratulations to Arsenal. We give it to them. Not really an easy one to do. And of course, if you look at the other match when it comes to the UEFA Champions League on Tuesday night, Barcelona were able to record a 3-1 home victory over Napoli. And of course, Nigeria's Victor Osimhen was not able to do anything in that encounter. He was really marked out. And of course, that will be the end of the road for Napoli when it comes to UEFA competitions this season. That also stopped them from qualifying for the Club World Cup, as Juventus had to take their place, but if they had qualified for quarterfinal, they would have been one of the representatives of Italy to the newly redesigned Club World Cup. 3-1 it ended in favor of Barcelona. We saw Joao Cancelo getting a goal there, and of course we saw Lewandowski. He also got a goal. Quite interesting. Not an easy game, but Osimhen, it was not just his night. We had the coach of Barcelona, even after that encounter, saying he was not going to stay. He has said he will be leaving Barcelona, and so he will be leaving. Of course, the game started. It was Barcelona that scored first, and before you know it, they got another goal. But Napoli got a goal. It became 2-1, and of course, towards the end, it became 3-1 for them to get that convincing victory. All right, let's quickly take, something very interesting. The reaction of Arsenal manager to their victory, because they talked about their victory, which was marked by the coach of Porto, accusing him of insulting his family, that he came to his bench and all that. But, Arteta wouldn't be carried away as he spoke after the victory, because they got a shocker of their lives, but, that didn't stop them. They got themselves that victory. So let's quickly take the interview of Mikel Arteta after Arsenal's victory.
How would you summarise your emotions right now?
A magic night. What we expected, a really tough opponent, really well organized, very difficult to generate constant momentum in the game and the way they play, and that's credit to them. We did it. We scored a beautiful goal. From there, we insisted, probably in different ways, that the way the game allows as well. And it's a huge experience for us. We had to do it at the end through the penalties. We prepared well. Credit to the coaches as well, when they done it, and obviously for David, that had some difficult moments to start, but he stood up with incredible personality and ambition, and at the end he got rewarded in his moment.
We talk a lot about this being a young team still learning. What kind of boost or what kind of impact can this kind of experience make?
Well, for them to do it when the club hasn't managed to do it for 14 years, that tells you the difficulty of it, and the margins are so small, and we found a way to do it again, and I see how much they want it and how much they tried. They are able to sacrifice anything to win, and when you play like this, at the end it's going to come your way sooner than later, and it happened tonight.
Darmish from Sky.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
You said yesterday to the fans, bring the energy, bring the noise. Have you experienced an atmosphere like that at the Emirates since you've been here?
Probably not. It was amazing. From the start to the end, when they have to do that extra at the end with the penalties, apart from bringing that, they brought their brains. They were so smart, the way they did it and the way they help us. And huge thank you, because with them we are much better, and I think today they have impacted the game in a really strong way.
Hi, Mikel. After the first leg, the Porto manager said they wanted to play and we won. Are you satisfied that you played your way and you managed to win?
Yeah, we always play. If not, I don't know how you are top of the league in the Premier League, which is the best league in the world.
James from CBS.
Mikel, you probably don't remember, but back in October we spoke about how there's not really much of a fixed hierarchy of penalty takers at Arsenal. You've had 8 different ones from your last 14. When they were all stepping up and they'd taken a penalty before for Arsenal, were you thinking, I'm really glad that they've all had this opportunity before?
Quite interesting. And of course, you could hear that man, saying that he's never seen that type of atmosphere at the Emirates Stadium. So we have to give it to, us now. They got the job done, and they'll be hoping for a favorable draw when it comes to the quarterfinals. And of course, we cannot wait for the draws. That should be on Friday. And of course, we'll always update you when it comes to that. We've got to go on this show, but let's quickly look at the top 5 leagues in Europe and look at the tables at the moment. And of course, let's begin with the English Premier League. Should I call Chelsea fans to come to the meeting at the moment? Okay, let's have mercy on them. We've been nice enough to accommodate. It's supposed to be top 10, but we're making it top 12 because of Chelsea. Can you see the way they are stressing us? Arsenal, not just doing well in the Champions League, they are doing well also in the Premier League, so they could win both. And of course, you can see them there. They are top of the table, and they will be bullish about it. And they are being followed closely by Liverpool, Manchester City there too, just a point difference between the top 3 teams. Aston Villa a distant 4th, and of course Tottenham a distant 5th to the top 3, while Manchester United, in fact, if there's another word to use instead of distant, we're going to use it. And West Ham, they are very close to European places. But the last European place is being occupied by Manchester United at the moment. And of course, the points between Manchester United and Tottenham, they've got about 6 points difference, with Tottenham having a game at hand. Can you imagine that? And I think that game is against Luton Town or Bournemouth or Chelsea. That'll be quite interesting. But Chelsea fans, you've got your team 11th on the table, and of course they cannot even leave now at the moment, no matter what they do, because Newcastle are ahead of them. But if they can win their outstanding game, they will move to maybe 8th on the log. And of course, the top scorers, Erling Haaland with 18 goals, Oli Watkins with 16, Mohamed Salah with 15, Dominic Solanke. Let's call him the Nigerian boy, Dominic Solanke, and Jarrod Bowen. All right, let's quickly move to the Spanish La Liga. We've got no time on the show. And of course, we know that league, Real Madrid are still topping. Real Madrid are there, and they're being followed by Girona, one of the surprise teams in Europe this season. But a whopping 7 points, separates them. And of course, Barcelona are 3rd, while Atletico Madrid, are 4th. Athletic Bilbao and Real Sociedad, including Real Betis, are occupying the 5th, 6th, and 7th spots. And of course, Jude Bellingham, a midfielder, scored 16 goals, is the top goal scorer. Boya Mayoral is with 15 goals, while Alvaro Morata and Artem Dovbyk, they both have 14 goals. And of course, we move to the Italian Serie A to see, the teams there. Inter Milan are the runaway leaders when it comes to the Italian Serie A. Of course, they've gone so far and they look like they can't be caught, but we must give it to them. Inter Milan have got 75 points, and they are being followed by AC Milan. That's a whopping 16 points between them. that's not easy. And of course, Juventus are fifth, are third, I beg your pardon. Bologna fourth, AS Roma fifth. Unbelievable. Since the sack of, Jose Mourinho, Atlanta and Napoli also there. Quite interesting. And of course, the top scorer there, Lisandro Martinez with 23 goals, Dusan Vlahovic with 15, and Olivier Giroud with 12. Also, Paulo Dybala with 12, while Nigeria's Victor Osimhen has just 11 goals. All right, let's quickly take a look at the German Bundesliga and look at how the table looks like at the moment. And we do know that the leaders are Bayer Leverkusen. They look like the runaway leaders now with 67 points. Bayern Munich are following them, and of course with 57 points, 10 points between these two teams. And the third team, we've got Stuttgart, Borussia Dortmund are fourth, RB Leipzig are fifth, with Eintracht Frankfurt sixth. That's the table for you. Harry Kane is the leading goal scorer with 30 goals. Can you just imagine? And of course, Seru Gurazi with 21 goals, Loyo Penda with 17, Dennis Undov with 14, and Demirovic with 14 goals. Quite interesting in the German Bundesliga, where you have it there. And of course, let's look at the last top 5 team when it comes to the European leagues. With our top 5 league, we're talking about the French Ligue 1. And of course, you do expect to know the leaders already. There's no doubt about that. It's Paris Saint-Germain. And of course, Paris Saint-Germain with 56 points, and they're being followed by Brest with 46 points. AS Monaco are third with 45 points, Lille with 42 points, while Lens are with 42 points also. The top goal scorer, 21 goals for Kylian Mbappe, Jonathan David with 14 goals, and of course Alexander Lacazette, the former Arsenal man, with 12 goals, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with 11 goals, and Ben Yedder with 11 goals. Quite interesting to see what is going on in the German and the French Ligue 1. Interesting. And of course, we're done with football and all those things that we'll talk more about all these things when we come for the show on Friday. But let's let you know that there's a development after Anthony Joshua knocked out Francis Ngannou of Cameroon last Friday. We do understand now that the WBC, that's the World Boxing Council, they've agreed for Joshua to meet the winner of the fight between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. So whoever wins the match on 2 legs, it's going to be there's going to be a rematch after the first encounter. So anyone who wins that, anyone who comes out as the victor, is going to be facing Joshua to become the undisputed world heavyweight champion. We cannot wait to see that, and we do hope everything happens this year. All right, thank you for joining us today on Friday. Hopefully we have more time to discuss many things on the show. It's been interesting having you join us. Thank you for hanging out with us. And of course, I want to thank everyone in the studio who really contributed to the success of the show today, from everyone, from the directors, the engineers, everyone on duty, and including the cameramen. I want to say thank you to you. And of course, we do hope we've been able to serve you your morning tea so hot today, and of course with quality and quantity. Thank you for joining us. I'm Bade Adeleye. I will catch you again on Friday. To stay with us.